Hello, hello. This is our project. We chose the traffic data analysis project. So basically, what we did is we got this data from a lots of very many years and months. It takes a long time to scroll through them, but basically, from 2015 to 2017. We have tons of it in a random junction, and we're supposed to find out plenty of things from that, but really just bring it all together. So what we did is this is our computational thinking and data sciences project. This project analyzes hourly traffic volume collected across multiple junctions. The goal is to identify trends in daily totals, hourly behaviors, and differences between the junctions. This analysis will help us understand traffic flow patterns that may support optimization, planning, or congestion reduction. So first thing we did, as usual, is import all of our things that we're going to need to be able to graph everything and just help us see it more clearly. So this is how we get the data importation and we clean it up to be able to use in graphs. So we load the dataset into Panda's data frame for analysis and inspection. This step ensures that the file is readable and structured correctly before performing any computations. So first off, we get the actual traffic data.csv. That's right here. We bring it in and we read it. Then we're going to rename some of the columns date to day so we can be able to use the pandas data functions date time, where we can do equal PD to date time PDF, and we can do all these things, year, month, day, hour. So we switch that around so we can be able to use it more properly, and it kind of just shows us this. Pretty cool. Now we go to aggregation and analysis, where we compute daily totals, average hourly traffic, and peak per junction. That's just the code for that, but we can actually see it whenever we bring it here. So we're going to use line plots and bar charts to illustrate traffic patterns, and the graph shows how traffic volume changes day to day. Peak represents high traffic, while dips indicate lighter traffic. This helps identify weekly cycles, seasonal effects, or unusual events. So this is just the complete average throughout all of the data that we have, which is a lot of data, but what we got from this is that at midnight, which would be 0, because it's on like military clock scale, it's pretty high traffic. At 4, like 5 a.m., it's a lot lower, which makes sense because most people are asleep. And then this is like, it's throughout the day from 10, 12, or 15. This is around peak business hours. This right here is where people are going home for like work, like, they're 9 to 5. They'll be going home around here, and maybe people will be like going to school or going out for their day right here. This is during the day. It makes sense why the hours are so high, and this is kind of where people are starting to head home, so that also makes sense. So that helps us see like why traffic is the way it is in this specific place on average throughout the days. Now, another one that we did was we basically did throughout all of the years just the total amount of vehicles that were on all of our junctions. And this can really just help us show just when there's more like total vehicles rather than times that's more busy. So it's actually steadily increased, which would make sense like as population increased for these places. This day really spiked a lot. And throughout this, we can see that, well, the roads are being used a lot more and probably could be used to, like, we need to widen them because it's going to keep going up from this trend we're seeing. Or, like, we can see these little spikes that happen once every year, or I guess multiple times every year. But these could signify holidays whenever people are going to be using the roads more. I don't know what this was. The third month. Um, I'm not sure what this was, but like you can see on specific days where it's pretty consistently spiking, so we can prepare with that with like traffic guards and things like that. Here we are going to be using our heat map, which is actually probably the most useful in my opinion, because what we can do is basically we can see like which junction is being used the most and like which of the hours are the darker ones, which will make us see like when it's hurting the most or which junction needs to be widened. Well, we can see specifically from this one that junction one needs the most like widening for sure. Like we could use extra lanes there. That's where most of our assets should be going towards. And we can also see that like during this hours right here of like 17 to 20, all of them are experiencing more people. So like we should be prepared for traffic during that time. So our conclusion based on all this was traffic peaks during even hours of 17 to 20. Daily totals vary with some junctions consistently better junction 1, and heat maps show clear differences in traffic distribution across junctions. So we should prioritize junction 1. And I showed you how to use all of my tools, kind of explained it. I hope this was helpful, and I will now end this. Or also, if I'm supposed to show my instrument report, here it is. We follow the schedule and the general plans. So here we go, and I'm gonna try to figure out how to stop this.